Hey YouTube, back at the off-grid cabin here. It's been about 3 weeks since we had it put in, and we've been coming up here every weekend. I had some friends come up last weekend. It was a long weekend here in Canada for our Canada Day. It was fun. They brought their camper, they camped out, we did a fire, explored around a little bit. We found a neat little lake that we can go and swim from. There's the cabin. Not much different from the last time you guys saw it. So one of the things I've found is that there's just so much to do here. It feels a little overwhelming sometimes. So we really tried to prioritize what we were doing. This weekend, our goal was to get the insulation in. I'll show you that a little bit later on. What I can tell you is it made a huge difference in the temperature level. I wanted to share with you guys, our moose came through and he walked through from that side right over. He kind of parked himself beside our kayaks here. I'll put up a picture for you guys to see. It's pretty cool. He's getting bigger and bigger. So one of the things we wanted to share with you guys was sort of our plan for the cabin. This area you see down at this end, we're kind of messy right now, but we're sort of half moved in, I would say. This area down at this end is going to be our kitchen. You're going to have cabinets across the side into maybe a little stove area, and then our fridge will be right about where it sits right there. This area here we have temporarily set up as tool storage, and Bailey has her arts and crafts table there. Also, Rosie is sleeping there. But this area will be potentially a bookshelf and a couch, along with a coffee table that lifts up that we can eat at as well. Across from the couch, right about where Krista's blue camping chair and Big Lolo are standing, will be our wood stove. That's going to go up and out through the back wall. We could probably take down our Happy Canada Day decorations as well at some point, since it was last week. And last but not least, on this end, you can see we have one bed in. Bailey's bunk bed is in. Our futon is going to go on the other side, and it's going to be pretty tight. There'll only be a few feet in between them, but enough room to leave a dog bed in there, and we should be able to fit the two beds in there nicely. So Krista found this really cool program called Keyplan 3D. It's a free program, and then you pay, I think, about $10, and it allows you to upgrade to get sort of all the gizmos that go with it. You can see here, this is obviously the cabin. On the right-hand side of the shot here, it is going to be a screen porch. It doesn't look like a screen porch in the picture, but the idea is that we will have the cabin and then a roughly 10-foot out screen porch, just to get us out of the bugs and have an outdoor area where we can leave the dogs and sit out and watch movies and things like that in the fall and the summer. Again, if you look at this, this is really what the cabin's going to look like. It's a pretty cool program. She did a really good job, and I've enjoyed playing with it as well. The one thing we've realized is that without the cabin being insulated, it gets very hot and very cold at night. It's really hard to maintain temperature in there. So our goal this weekend is to get all the ceiling insulated. We'd originally looked at spray foam insulation, but the cheapest quote we got was about $8,000. I don't have $8,000, so we've gone down a different route. We've decided to use some 1/4-inch OSB board across the ceiling of the cabin. We'll put pink fiberglass insulation on top of that, and then we'll use the R10 foam insulation on the walls and up into the peak. So I'll show you that inside. Stopped in Huntsville on the way up and picked up a bunch of stuff. We have some fiberglass insulation, some 1/4-inch OSB board. I'm going to show you that in a minute, what we're going to do on the ceiling. And underneath that, you can barely see it, is the 2-inch foam board, which we're going to use as well. So you can see we're using the 1/4-inch OSB board. It's actually quite cheap. It's about $25 for a 4x8 sheet, just to support the insulation. The insulation will run out off the end, and it'll run into the foam insulation there, and I'll show you that in a minute. We're just putting this up with some 2-inch screws. There's not a lot of weight to it. A sheet weighs about 20 pounds, and the insulation is also light. Ultimately, we don't want to have a OSB ceiling, but what we'll do is when we put the ceiling in, whether we use panels or tongue and groove pine, we'll just go right over top of that, and it won't show at all. This is just a temporary measure to get some insulation in the ceiling, because it is hot in here when it gets hot outside. So you can see the idea here is we have the 1/4-inch OSB board with the fiberglass insulation on top of it. That will go down and meet with the foam board insulation. There'll be tongue and groove wood covering everything so nothing will show. And if we pan out here, we'll have that foam board insulation in the walls as well. So now, we gotta go all the way down there, and that is the goal, to have that completed by the end of the weekend. All right, day 2, we packed it in last night. It was getting late. You can tell we've got a few more boards up. We left a little hole there where we can access into the little bit of crawl space we're gonna have up there to run our wiring for our 12-volt DC lighting. Pot lights are gonna come out of that ceiling. So one of the things we realized is that it's actually easier to stuff the insulation in and then put the board on top of it, as opposed to putting the board up and then trying to pull the insulation through. You can see we're sticking out on the ends a little bit. That's fine. That's just going to match up with the foam board that we're using. And then basically the whole peak will be the fiberglass insulation. I'm a little bit sweaty, but the one thing I can say for sure is that it is definitely not as hot in here as it has been. It's cooler in here than it is outside. It's about, what time is it, babe? Around 11, 12? 12. It's around lunchtime, 12 noon, and so it's usually pretty hot in here by now, but it's nice and cool. If you stick your head sort of into the upper part, into the attic, I'm going to call it, I guess, feels like it's about 20 degrees hotter. So we're going to just keep plugging away here. And the ceiling is on. We have the 1/4-inch OSB board on the roof with the pink fiberglass, and then the foam board insulation, R10 insulation going up. Hi, Lolo. And same on this side. So we are looking in real good shape. You can already feel it's cooler in here. So next item on the project list for next time we come is we want to continue to put some insulation in the walls, as well as put our eaves troughs on. I have no eaves troughs on. Ultimately, the plan is to have the eaves troughs come down. Then we'll marry up the eaves troughs at this end, have them come down and run into a 1,000-liter tote that's going to sit there. I found one on Facebook Marketplace for like $100, and it's food grade tote. I just need to clean it out. It had honey in it, I think they had said. And then we will have a small temporary outdoor shower, which we will put right there. Gonna have to move those solar panels. One of the toughest things, guys, being here for extended periods of time is not having a shower. Now there's a lake down the way, but it's just so buggy to get in there. It makes it a little bit difficult, and the water's pretty damn cold. So I have a on-demand hot water tank, which we will start to use and hopefully get that set up. If we can capture enough rainwater, we can use it for showering as well. That's it for today, guys. If you're interested in seeing some of our other videos, I'll leave a link around the screen here. Thank you so much for watching. And if you would not mind, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me grow the channel. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.